Welcome to Yugioh Nostalgia Month 2021. The theme this year is Reload, which is not to reiterate or redo previous videos, but instead to add and update a few of the topics that have already been covered before. For instance, I made an offhand comment in the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Magazine video that GameStop was positioned to fold in the near future. And I was sorta right on that one, as my local GameStop unfortunately closed a few weeks ago. Then, the week after, the GameStop stock shoots up a few $100s. Returning to that particular magazine, the one with an overview of the set Labyrinth of Nightmare, I've actually acquired another magazine on the same topic. This one comes from Pojo, who keeps popping up in videos, with the Scholastic Book Fair book in the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Nostalgia Month, but also as a very important resource for the Harry Potter TCG video. Although I don't think these websites have been updated in 20 years. One of the big benefits of retreading ground is the ability to improve. And this year, instead of filming books, I have proper scans, with better but not excellent resolution. I attribute a third of this to inexperience in scanning documents, a third to the actual print quality of the magazines, and a final third to the resolution of some of these images, like this picture of the Forceful Sentry in 60p. I'm going to upload the complete scans to the magazine archives, and maybe one day I will get around to scanning the other magazines, if I find the time and motivation, since the process takes several hours. Going through page by page does make you notice certain things though, like how pretty much every other page in the Bekket magazine is an advertisement, and the actual content of the articles is so sparse by comparison. While the Bekket magazine has larger images for the set spoilers, the Pojo magazine gives not only one, but two reviews for each card in the set, and I am going to be looking a bit deeper into some of these reviews. There does not seem to be a hot take on the same level of the statement, "The first-person perspective of Doom ruins the game," but I do think a few cards are undervalued in hindsight. This 2-star review on Mask of Restrict is not bad, as relegating the card to the side deck is understandable, but the card has been crucial in countering Monarch and Ritual strategies, and a similar thing can be said about Jiaogin the Spiritualist. Torrential Tribute is a fantastic card, which has spent quite some time on the FNL list, and I think that the utility and card advantage opportunity which the card offers was underestimated considering the direct comparison to Trap Hole. I would say that the evaluation of Jar of Greed is right on the money though, noting that it is slow, but it can bait out spell and trap removal, and is useful for deck thinning. Jar of Greed saw some competitive play, but so did Yugioh Drakmord, which I understand why very slow +1 monster removal was undervalued, with the widespread play of Mystical Space Typhoons not helping. But then I don't understand how Mask of the Accursed was rated so highly by the same logic. The Mask is rated on par, if not slightly better, than Mage Power and United We Stand, two of the strongest equipped cards to hit the FNL list. I think that the biggest misstep is with Card of Safe Return. 3 Eyes of Anubis is not a bad rating, but the simple effect to draw a card is one of the strongest in the game. I recognize that this is before zombies had amassed the infrastructure necessary to break the card, and way before Destiny Hero Disc Commander was printed. But I love how this moment in time is captured. Looping Spear Cretin is just so out of the box. Maybe it is because the symmetric special summoning effect is quite the taboo now, or perhaps the relative obscurity of Spear Cretin in general. The last memorable appearance of which was in that Felgrand structure deck, I think. Having historical records like this, whether in paper or digitally archived, is just so revealing for the mindset at the time, and helps to better contextualize some choices which are odd in hindsight. Like how, although Solemn Judgment was available in GOAT format, it was almost never ran because of that scary life point cost. Can you imagine a world where Magic Jammer was ranked higher than Solemn Judgment? It is fun to be able to think back to a time where the digital and printed media coexisted, and many players were informed about a new banlist or top deck through one of these magazines. But I have to say, for your money, go for Pojo, because the caliber of content is so much higher. It sort of makes me wonder why the 2006 competitive guide was so watered down. Perhaps for mass appeal? Regardless, seeing so many unconventional cards coexisting does make me yearn for a time when formats were not so quickly solved, where the top decks were not copied ad nauseum, but most of all, I think I miss a time before everything was just so competitive, and you could have decks themed around the mask cards, or a deck built around Lord of D and Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. But the good news about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the lack of set rotation. So most of the less oppressive cards are still legal, and with the right playgroup, anything goes. It is good to enjoy the casual side of the game now and then, if for nothing else, to be reminded of that childhood enthusiasm that seems to atrophy when winning is prioritized over fun.